Hey everybody, Kevin McElvaney, a very shaggy looking Kevin McElvaney here. I need a haircut badly. I will tend to that. But today I'm here to show you the June 2021 issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which is in stores now on newsstands. You can, of course, always order it from us as long as we have issues in stock, which we currently do, from our website at pwi-online.com. But this is available in stores right now, so you can go grab a copy today. Physical print copy, beautiful print magazine. The cover story of which is my hot seat interview with Bianca Bel-Air, the SmackDown Women's Champion, conducted just before she had her historic main event match with Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. She talks about her thoughts going into that match, winning the Royal Rumble, where she gets her confidence from, her experience training with WWE, as well as some dream opponents who she would like to face. So that's exciting. Since the issue itself came out digitally right before WrestleMania, we wanted to do something that was a little more evergreen and would be relevant no matter when you pick this up. So we have this WrestleMania What Ifs feature, which was written by Al Castle. He looks at some alternate main events that we could have very well seen at different WrestleManias, why they might have been better than what we saw, and ultimately why we didn't see them. At the end of this section, and I'm not going to hold it up here because this is a reason to go out and buy it, there's a special URL that you can visit to go take part in our PWI Readers Poll, which we conduct every year. We do this poll. It started with industry insiders, and this year we're opening it up to all PWI readers. We also have a feature on Miro. This is from Harry Burkett, who's, of course, our longest tenured senior writer. This is a great feature, especially considering Miro's recent run on Dynamite for AEW and Dark previous to that. We have this piece on Keiji Muto, of course, who has been known under that name for a long time, but previously was the Great Muta. And recently he captured the GHC Heavyweight Championship, which is the top title in Pro Wrestling Noah, recognized as a world championship by PWI. This is a story about his unlikely victory at an advanced age. He's certainly, not in his prime anymore, but in a lot of ways, he has that wisdom and experience that make him able to step in the ring with the best in the world and defeat them. So this was written by Mark Pickering, who is one of the English language commentators for Pro Wrestling Noah, Tokyo Joshi Pro. And he was able to sit down with Muto in person and talk to him. So that was really exciting for us. We have this feature by Regis Reg, which I know was something he had wanted to write for a long time. This is about Jonathan Gresham, the pure champion in Ring of Honor, and the Foundation, his group. So what was cool about this piece is that it became more relevant as, between our print deadline and when it actually, hit newsstands, because Tracy Williams has had a lot of momentum since then. He had a brief TV title run, and then he and Rhett Titus captured, of course, the ROH World Tag Team Championship. So that group is getting more and more relevant as we speak. This piece by Kristen Ashley, who's, of course, one of our contributing writers and then co-founder of Bell to Bells, huge advocate for women's wrestling, wrote this story about Shotzi Blackheart, talks about her roots and interest in the horror film and television subcultures, and then her successes in NXT. And again, this picture is in here, but the article itself, the interview, was conducted just before she won the NXT Tag Team Championship. So this is more of a look at her career to date and her ascendance to star status in NXT. We have this piece, which you'll see is about the Azteca Underground stable, which if you haven't seen it yet, I won't spoil it for you, but let's just say there was some speculation and inside information in here about who El Jefe might be in that storyline, and our writer Jason McVeigh was pretty much right on the money with that. So Harry Burkett writes what wound up being his final Wednesday night fight column. The reason for that, of course, is that NXT has moved to Tuesdays, so this will be repurposed in our next issue under a different title. Nonetheless, this is an excellent column. And then we have just a 12-page spread on independent wrestling here. So it talks about the IWTV Championship, which is a multi-promotion title that's promoted on the independent wrestling TV streaming service, but competed for all over the country in various promotions. We have this story by Brian Solomon, which I know he's very proud of, about David Marquez and his UWN, United Wrestling Network, the various championship wrestling promotions. And he, if you see right here, it says, don't call it indie. David himself detests that term because it was a real 4-letter word for many years. But nevertheless, I mean, he epitomizes the spirit of going and building something big on his own without the help of big corporate sponsors. So technically fits the criteria. And whether or not he likes the term, this is a great story and you should check it out. We have coverage of the Iron match, which was the PWI sponsored match. Trish Adora taking on Tony Deppen in a 60-minute, Most Falls wins on Valentine's Day. Some great photos in there from Jay Lee Photography. And speaking of photos, we have the GCW Fight Forever event, which was a 24-hour, effectively a telethon on Fight TV and YouTube. Some great photos from 4 different photographers who were ringside at that event. And then we have coverage of 2 cool independent promotions who are doing some really innovative things. We have Butch vs. Gore and Paradigm Pro Wrestling. Won't go too much into it because I would like... I could be talking here all day and your time is valuable. You can go pick this up and you can read about it yourself. We have a new column in here. This is from Jordan Grace. So one half of the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. She approached us and asked to write something for us. And effectively this is going to be a column where she tries to spread some positivity in the world of pro wrestling, which is not always the most positive place. Debut column is about Lufisto. So we have some other columns in there. Our ratings. Again, this is a great issue. Really just packed with photos and analysis. I mean, this one, I can just say from a production standpoint, was really a little bit of a bear to get together because there were so many moving parts in it. But I am the most proud of this issue. More proud of this issue than I have been of any issue that I've worked on. So again, in stores now. You can go find it. Pharmacies, grocery stores, newsstands, bookstores, everywhere carry this. So I'd encourage you to go out and pick up your copy now and let me know what you think in the comments.